Hello everyone, I am still Laxxus, and this time I'm joined by Gigman.
Hello everyone.
This is Little Samson, a NES game, a pretty late NES game, one of the probably most expensive NES games at this point. Came out in '92, so after the Super Nintendo actually was released, so it went a bit under the radar, I guess, but it's a really good game, really good platformer. I am playing the all stages easy category, so easy difficulty means there are a few less enemies in the stages, and also normal mode would add I think 3 stages or 4, whatever, at the end of the run. These are not in easy mode. And all stages means I will not skip any stages in any percent. You normally would skip quite a few stages, and there are some really weird requirements to get to some stages. We'll get
Some
to
stages
that.
are like nigh impossible to reach if you play it casually.
Yeah, and now our sound is gone again, which is not great.
This is the reason was
So
delayed to begin with.
yeah,
The audio just like cuts out for us. Yeah.
yeah, it's fine. All right, let's just start this anyway.
Yep.
In 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go. Okay, audio is back. That's good.
Yeah, that's good. Oh well.
All right. So at first we have these intro stages. Oops. So the game, you have 4 characters, and in these intro stages you get to know each character. They have different abilities. So this is Samson, the main character, basically. We won't use him much. But, well, he can wall climb and he can shoot, and he does a cool little spin when he jumps. So, yeah, that's all he does, basically.
And it's actually kind of cool. If you look at the intro sequence of the game, you'll see the king sends out letters to all the characters. And then these intro stages are basically those characters getting to the castle to meet up with the king to find out what he actually wants from them. So it's a fun little detail that they actually add in this game. It's a really neat way of making a tutorial where you go through all the characters and get to learn them.
Yeah, and now we have the dragon. The dragon can shoot fire and can miss the tornadoes. He can also hover in the air for a while, but only a certain amount, not unlimited, and he can charge his shot like that. Then it deals a bit more damage, but the damage of the dragon is very low. You don't want to use him for bosses.
Like the charge shots looks very impressive, but they actually don't do that big of a difference.
Yeah, and they take quite some time to charge up.
Yeah.
Now we have this golem here.
My favorite character.
Everyone's favorite character, pretty much. So the gimmick of this game is basically that every character has a different music. So when you switch to a character, then you get his music. So it's not like different stage musics or anything. So this character just has the best music. Sadly, we won't hear that in the speedrun after this intro stage.
No, because unfortunately the golem moves very slowly. He's tanky, he deals a lot of damage, but he's just too slow, unfortunately. So say goodbye to this awesome tune. We're never gonna hear it again.
You're only gonna hear it once. And this is the star of the show. The mouse, you see in the top left, he has basically no health. But who's the fastest? He can also wall climb. And he can drop bombs, as every mouse can do, I guess.
Of course, yes. Everyone knows that. Like, mouses drops bombs, and if you touch those bombs, it doesn't deal that much damage. But if they explode, they deal a lot of damage.
Oh yeah. Here we see these bombs, and yeah, that is like the #1 boss killer. And here, story-wise, like they fight about who is the leader of the group, actually. So the dragon thinks he is a better leader, so...
Yeah, we just gotta put him in his place and tell him that, like, no, we're in charge.
Yeah, you just stunlock him. I missed a few shots, but that's fine. now we get to the actual stages. So we can really switch characters. And yeah, we mostly use the mouse for everything. I try to not take too much damage here, but these spawns are actually completely random. And then I will try to do a out of bounds trick here. Perfect.
Oh wow.
That's actually a frame perfect one.
Yeah, these tricks, they look pretty simple, but they're kind of input intensive and pretty hard to pull off. And the basic principle behind them is that the characters, when they spawn in, they kind of like move positions a little bit, and you abuse that to nudge yourself into a wall, and then you just clip through the ceilings until you get to a certain height where you can move into the warp point where you get to the boss's area.
Yeah. And very important thing here, I avoided killing the boss with the mouse. If you kill the boss with the mouse, then you skip a few stages. I don't know why that is a requirement, but yeah, killing that boss with any other character gives us these extra stages. And this one is technically meant for like the dragon, I guess, because it's pretty similar to like his intro stage. But yeah, you can take the mouse and you refresh the timer of the tornadoes by jumping into it again. And then you can ride the tornado through the whole stage.
Yeah, a lot of these stages, when I played this as a kid, I could never figure out why you got to certain levels and how you like skipped them and stuff.
Yeah,
You got some of them sometimes, you didn't get it sometimes, and it was just completely random, it felt like.
Yeah, here I skipped another half of the stage by simply flying high enough up so the screen does not start scrolling. And then I skipped the boss fight by just dropping down, which gives us this extra stage, which has this awesome crab. I mean, it just looks majestic, right?
Yeah, we're gonna auto-scroll here for quite a while, so if you have any donations or messages you wanna read out, this is the perfect time.
Yeah.
Wonderful. We have a $50 donation from Kira Bikame saying, for my boy Red 13, going towards the team choice that has Red 13 in it for Theatrhythm Final Bar Line. That also claims the Drippy Goosebird shirt and goes towards Space Girls All Cosmo Chicks category upgrade. So thank you very much for that. And let's give you a quick update. That target is now at $70 out of 200, so a little left until we're halfway there, but you can do it, Twitch chat. I believe in you.
It's actually very peaceful where you don't have the audio. Someone mentioned it here in chat that like, yeah, this is actually kind of tranquil. I could just sit here and chill with my crab homie all day long. Just looking at the scenic route, you know.
Yeah, it's perfect.
Yeah. Also, we would have gotten Samson's song here because we're forced to play Samson. We dropped the character switching thingamajig when we fall down from the previous boss, so we can't really change characters here. So this part you actually have Samson's music, but I guess we can live without that, can't we?
Yeah, it's fine.
Yeah,
it's
exactly,
fine.
Exactly.
Now we have this boss, and sadly, because we have only Samson, we have to mash quite a bit on this boss. I definitely don't want to touch this boss, because that is, I think, an insta-kill. And he just tries to suck you in. We have to avoid that. Getting hit by these other guys is not a huge problem, so...
Yeah, but you don't have to worry, like, Crab Bro's got you covered. He's
yeah, true.
He's down
he's
there
still
at the bottom,
watching.
just like watching, making sure we're fine.
I actually did not see that before you pointed it out in the practice room.
All right, so here we get the character switching thingamajig back. So now we can actually play as the mouse again.
Yeah. And that's what we immediately do. Switch to the mouse. And do some out-of-bounds shenanigans.
Yeah, as soon as we get to one of these like scroll up or down segments, in some way we're always able to clip into the round or wall or something. Then we just need to scroll the screen until we get to the warp plane, and then we just exit whatever segment we're in.
Yeah.
To the next stage or onto the boss or whatever's next.
Yeah, for the most part, like you just walk into the wall with the mouse and then switch to the dragon, which has a larger sprite, and then you just get stuck inside the wall, basically. You can switch back to the mouse and jump up.
Yeah, I don't know the exact details of how it works, but it's sort of like the dragon spawns, the dragon's head spawns where the mouse was, and then you turn the dragon around, so now the dragon is facing into the wall. Then you switch back to the mouse and it spawns where its head is.
Yeah.
So that's kind of how you start these clips.
Yeah, and now we have the actual worst boss. I don't know if it's a dragon or a shrimp or whatever. It's a pretty random boss. If things go right, he will give me just 2 good cycles.
And here we see the power
Which
of
he
the...
doesn't, of course.
No, we see the power of the bombs. Like the individual explosions doesn't deal that much, but they keep damaging the enemy like every frame that they're present, which is why they actually deal so much damage.
Yeah. And you can have 3 on screen at the same time, so if you have 3 explosions like that, it just melts bosses.
Yeah.
And this was would actually be the second stage if we killed the first boss with the mouse, so you would have skipped all of the other stuff, and I missed my jump, that's fine. Let's try again.
Yes, it's not just that if you beat that boss with a certain character, you get 1 extra stage. No, you get like 5 of them extra.
Yeah.
It's a huge difference, really. None of the other causes you to play that many stages, right? It's just like 1 extra here or there.
Yeah. And I don't know what they were thinking with like the requirements for these stages. It's just weird.
Yeah, they're incredibly obscure. It doesn't seem to have any kind of connection to where you end up either. They're just arbitrary.
No, the world map also makes no sense at all. You just fly around the place, basically.
That boss has a pretty cool like setup to get the quick kill. You place the bombs where you know he's going to spawn once all the projectiles converge in the middle. That's why you get so much damage into him, because then he just spends time in the middle of your bomb explosions.
Yeah, and speaking of obscure ways to get to stages, yeah, I will collect this potion, and that is the only reason that I will get to this next stage. After a little clip, don't worry about it. So this ice stage you only get to if Samson has a potion at the end of the last stage. It
makes perfect sense, doesn't it? Like if you've collected a potion with Samson, then you want to visit the ice castle.
Yeah.
And visiting the ice castle doesn't give you anything. It's just a hindrance.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I used the dragon at the beginning of that stage because he's the only one who's immune to the
ice physics.
Ice physics, yeah.
I remember when I was a kid, like if you ended up in the ice castle, you basically knew this attempt was over, because I could never figure out how to beat this boss. He just kept respawning and I had no idea why. Turns out you're just supposed to just wail at him.
Eventually he will die. Yeah,
exactly.
he takes 4 hits in this form, and I almost died, but I didn't. Okay, perfect. Yeah, I'll be honest, I don't really know how this second phase works. I just hope he lets me hit him.
I also found it very like entertaining. If you look at the little world map scenes we see in between each stage, Samson's just all over the place. Like he's far to the north at one point, far to the east, far to the west, somewhere in the middle. It doesn't really seem to show us moving somewhere in particular. We're just in random places looking for something, I guess.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
But then we keep finding these mages, and I think they're sort of connected to the main bad guy in the story, but I'm not entirely sure.
Yeah, I'm sure there's some kind of connection. Also, by the way, on this night, if you get hit by a sword, you only take like 2 damage. If you hit his armor, you get hit by like 8 damage. Makes perfect sense.
And even now, when the mouse is collected, this is the maximum amount of HP you can get with the mouse, right? Yeah. We still can take far less damage than the golem can.
Yeah. It's a pretty precise one where I have to watch out that I don't scroll the screen too far, otherwise it would keep scrolling and I would not end the stage there. So basically on all of these out of bounds tricks, I'm skipping the second half of the stage. The game thinks it's the stage is done.
And many of these bosses, they look kind of easy actually when you do them, but the placement of these bombs and the timing for them is quite tricky to get correct, aren't they?
Yeah, yeah. I mean, some of them are easy. This one is actually kind of tricky with the mouse. Casually, everyone would probably just use the golem, because you don't want to fall down, and I completely messed up this fight, but it's okay. We'll eventually kill him. Maybe. Okay, golem strats, let's go.
Because there's no ground here. There's just these 3 blocks, and if you fall down, you're dead and have to restart the entire fight. From the wizard even, right?
Yeah. You would have to do the wizard as well.
Yeah. And look at that beautiful scenery. Isn't it calm and quiet here?
There's some weird hands in the background at the beginning. I don't know what they are for. Go to the right character.
All right, there we are. Again, we're clipping, getting into the boss area.
And this is actually pretty tough. Like, the first phase is okay. Say that and miss the one cycle. But the second phase, death, is actually really tricky to one cycle, and sometimes the ghosts that he spawns are just in the wrong spot. Oh yeah, that's not gonna work. It's okay.
Yeah, we improvise from here.
Yeah. The problem is you really don't want to get hit by death. If you touch him, it's over. Which makes sense, I guess.
Yeah, if death bodies you, you instantly die as the mouse, even if you're at full health.
Oh my god, this is taking forever.
All right, there we are.
Yeah, I just wanted to make sure that I don't touch him, because that's really bad. All right, final stage.
Yeah, now at this point there's a lot of like precise platforming, and then again scrolling section. So you know the drill by now. They clip into something.
Maybe eventually.
Maybe.
There we go. And then we are at the final boss. Final boss has 2 phases. First phase either gives me a high or medium pattern. On the high pattern I can't hit him, so we don't want that. So I get the high pattern, perfect.
Since everything has been going so well, why not get a high pattern?
And this is a really tough quick kill, which I will fail now. Yeah, it's hard without audio, honestly.
Yes, you get some time to like stand inside of the boss as you're still in iframes, and you just try to mash him down during that time.
Yeah. Okay, time is coming up. And time. Somewhere.
That still went well, all things considered, right?
Yeah, it was fine. I mean, I messed up a few boss fights here and there, but that's okay.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm just glad I could show this game off, and especially like the all stages category is not something you see very often. If people run the game, it's usually like any percent. But yeah, this game definitely deserves all the love. It's a great game, and casually you will obviously use other characters a lot more. And
yeah, this is a very different game when you play it casually.
Yeah.
But it's still it's a great experience, and given that you can mix characters and like approach problems kind of how you want to, it's a really fun casual game.
Yeah, definitely can recommend anyone to try it out if they haven't yet. So
here they hint a little bit, since we played easy mode, we don't get the Sky Island part of it. So they hint that like there was more content if you actually played it on normal mode
Yeah.
motivate you to try.
After that final boss we just had, it would continue with a few more stages, and then you get like an escape sequence at the end. But yeah, maybe another time. So yeah, that's Lil Samson, and next up is more JKL, I think.
I think so, yeah.
It's always JKL next.
It's a pretty safe bet, at least. Like, we'll guess that it's JKL next. We're
Yeah.
probably right.
Yeah, probably. So stay tuned.